Alright, I've taken 4 of my sweet potatoes and ran it through the grinder. And as you can see, it chopped it up just fine, just like the carrots did. And now I'm going to add this to my mixture. And then after I add it, just to make sure it's mixed up well, I'll use a spoon and just stir it up a little bit, just so it's mixed up quite well. After this is done cooking for about an hour or so, I'll add my chicken parts back into it. And at that point is when we add our last ingredients, which would be the brown rice and the split peas. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in a little bit. Thank you. Well, here I am. My sweet potatoes and my carrots have been boiling for about an hour. They're now just perfect condition for the dog food. So I'm adding my next dry ingredients. I buy brown rice in 2-pound sacks, and I just cut it, roughly pour half in one pan and half in the other. And just like with the sweet potatoes and the carrots, once I get these in here, I'll use a spoon and stir it up to get it all mixed up. But I roughly pour about half of it in each one. And then I buy my split peas in 1-pound sacks. So what I do here is I just pour each one into my pans here. I will tell you a little tip. When you pour this, you want to be careful because it's real easy to get the rice and the peas to kind of spew out all over the top of your stove if you're not careful. I've done that a few times. That's why I'm giving you the tip. And here we go. Okay, so I'll take my magic spoon and stir it up again. Oh, it's starting to look good. Starting to infiltrate the house with the smell now, which is a good smell. It smells like beef stew. And so I give it a good stir, get everything mixed up, make sure nothing's burning to the bottom of my pans. And I'm going to let this cook for about an hour. It takes about an hour for brown rice to get the right kind of subsistence for the dogs. In about a half hour I'll be back to put the chicken in before the rice completely swells up and get it all mixed up so it's a nice, thorough, complete mixture for the dog food. Thank you. I'll be back in just a little bit. Hello. Well, we're back now. I've taken the chicken and deboned it, threw the bones away, and after pulling all the meat loose on my plate there, I used a chopping knife and broke it into small little bits that would go and spread throughout the pan here so that there's plenty of meat in every bite. My dogs love the chicken. So I did a lot of chopping, and here's what one of my chickens looked like when it was chopped up. So here it is, and all I do now at this point is to put it inside the bowl. And when I get it in here, you want to be careful as you get it in here so that you don't accidentally spill it out on the side. Oh, they're going to love this. Okay, so there we go. Now I take my spoon and carefully just make sure I mix it throughout so that it's nice and uniform. And the chicken looks really good. My dogs are all laying around here close watching me, so in case any little bit happens to fall on the ground, they want to make sure that I don't have to bend over to pick it up. And now the chicken's all stirred in there pretty well, dispersed out. When I look at it, I can see all the vegetables are pretty, there's no globs of carrot or big globs of sweet potatoes. It's all pretty well mixed up. Same with this one over here. It's nice and mixed. Oh, we got a bone. Now every once in a while when I put my chicken in, I do find bones that I didn't pick out in time. So I'm really careful of that when I feed my dogs, that I do look at the meal as I put it in their pans, just to make sure in case there was a bone loose that I missed, so that they don't end up getting choking to death. And there we go. So now, with everything in place, I'm going to let it simmer for about another half hour, and then I'll turn the heat off and just move these pans over to the side of the stove and let them cool down to room temperature before I put them in storage containers and put them in the freezer, except for the one that I use in the refrigerator for their current dish. About one day before I'm about to run out of food from one of my dishes, I'll go out to my freezer, pull in the next batch of food I've got, and let it defrost for a day before I start serving it out for the next meal. And I'll come back to that when this is all finished. I'll show you how I package it, and I might even be able to capture a little bit of my dogs showing you how well they like to eat it. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Hello. Well, we're back. Over here I've let my 2 pans cool, and it's down to a safe enough temperature now where first off I'm going to show you how much I put into my dog food, and then I'll show you my storage containers and how I prepare my food for the next 2 weeks. So anyways, I've already got the pans here prepared for the dog dishes, and I'll just take a couple scoops of my gruel and put a little bit in each bowl here, and we're going to find out if my dogs really like my gruel. They've been salivating for the last hour waiting for me to do this, so I don't think there'll be any problem with them eating. Okay, so here we are. I'll go ahead and let my dogs eat just a minute. Chocolate. Okay, so as my dogs enjoy their gruel, I'll show you the containers that I use. We picked these up at Walmart. They're Tupperware-like, and it's just a big square box, but it's the right size to fit in the storage areas of our freezer, so we bought this size. They have different sizes for everybody. So anyways, and then of course I just sit there and fill each container up. I end up with 3 to 4 containers worth of food. And try to hurry and fill this one up. It also allows me a chance to make sure of the consistency of the gruel, and hopefully if there's any stray bones I can see it as I pick up the gruel and place it in my storage container. Okay, so we're almost there. Okay, so I fill it up about that full, and it comes with a lid. Try not to be as messy as I am. Put the lids on like this, put it in the freezer. One of these containers will last me with my dogs for roughly about 3 to 3.5 days. So like I said, with 4 containers, that leaves me with just about 2 weeks worth of food. And considering it's not dog food that you buy in a can, everything here is natural, healthy, and they love it better than they liked any of the canned foods I've ever fed them. So, thank you for joining me, and I hope this was informative. Goodbye. Well, we'll find out if my dogs do like the gruel or not. Doesn't look like they're having any problems. So thank you very much. There's the proofs in the pudding.